Principal, members of Court and Senate, distinguished guests, members of staff of Glasgow Caledonian University, graduands, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the university, I would like to welcome you all to this very special occasion, the 2001 graduation and awards ceremony of Glasgow Caledonian University. Now, this ceremony marks the conclusion of a very challenging, but I hope also an enjoyable time in the lives of all our graduates. And we're delighted that you have all joined us here today. Each and every one of you has worked extremely hard, shown great commitment and great strength of character in order to reach the goal that is being marked this afternoon. You should be, and I'm sure that you all are, extremely proud of your efforts and what you have achieved. And I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate you all collectively, as I will shortly have the opportunity to do individually, on your great achievement. But I'd also like to pay a thanks and to mark the contribution that your family and your friends who've joined us today have made in encouraging you and supporting you throughout your time at the university. For all of you, this is a chance to sit back in this wonderful concert hall and to reflect on your achievements and to look forward to the career that lies ahead of you. From the university's point of view, we trust the education and experience you've gained here in your student days will equip you for a rewarding and successful career in whatever your chosen field may be. And I know and I hope that you will remember throughout the rest of your lives that you are ambassadors for Glasgow Caledonian University. We shall watch your careers with great interest and I'm sure great pride. Remember that the university is here. Keep us in touch with what you're doing wherever you may be in the world. And remember too that if you require help, advice or guidance at any stage, the university is here and will be interested in keeping in touch with you. So we wish you well for the future with every possible success. And it gives me now great pleasure to declare this graduate and award ceremony open. Thank you.
Chancellor, Principal, Chairman and members of Court and Senate, distinguished guests, members of staff of Glasgow Caledonian University, graduands, ladies and gentlemen. At Glasgow Caledonian University, we share with Dr. Andrew Kuby the same guiding spirit. At Glasgow Caledonian, we are committed to enabling people, whatever their social or economic background, to participate fully in the unique learning experiences afforded by higher education. In the modern jargon of socio-educational policy, we want at Caledonian to widen access to higher education, to make the higher education learning experience one that will appeal to students of all kinds and at all times in their lives. In his committee's celebrated report of December 1999, Student Finance, Fairness for the Future, I can hear you all getting interested in this subject now, Student Finance, Fairness for the Future, a report known universally as the Kuby Report. Dr. Kuby wrote in his foreword, "Too many with talent in Scotland are denied access to further and higher education, either after secondary school or in later life. Moreover, he said, we have no doubt the student or parental contribution to tuition fees in full-time higher education should be abolished. There is no audience more appropriate to hear these words than this one, and I sense you warming to the sentiments that you've heard, as well as to this distinguished author of these passionate words, Edinburgh lawyer Andrew Cuby. So, having persuaded you that here is a man worthy of celebration, a man to be honoured in the way we are doing today, let me now gather your interest still further by revealing Dr. Cuby's true identity as a Glaswegian. Close to Gallowgate, down in deepest Glasgow, lies Cuby Street. It is a short street, shortened by post-war building development, but it remains Cuby Street nonetheless, bearing the name of the pottery that was there, owned and run by Andrew Cuby's family in the 1800s. Cuby's pottery gave rise to Cuby Street. Andrew Cuby has an impressive CV. He's a partner in the law firm Fife Ireland Solicitors, where he's active in corporate financing and banking law. He's chairman of the Court of Governors at a rival institution in Edinburgh, Napier University. He's chairman of the Quality Scotland Foundation. He's chairman too of the lifeboat service in Scotland, a fact that takes me to another of Dr. Cuby's forebears. His grandfather ran away to sea at the age of 14 and eventually clearly passed on his seafaring gene to his grandson, who is a very keen yachtsman, as well as being chair of the Scottish RNLI. Additionally, Andrew Cuby was the first person in the UK from a service or professional sector background to be asked to become a regional chairman of the Confederation of British Industry. He was chair of the CBI Scotland from 1995 to 97. Finally, in celebrating this Edinburgh man from Glasgow, if I dare put it that way, let me return to my point of departure, the Cuby report on student finance. 12 days ago, the Scotsman newspaper ran a headline, "University leaders call for Cuby recommendations in full," as survey puts the debt burden of students at £7,250. I think that's intended to mean at the end of your studies, not at the beginning. Anyone who's been involved in public policy reporting will tell you that it is exceptional that your words and wisdom are still cited 2 years on, just as they are in that Scotsman headline. The Cuby report is not sitting on a ministerial shelf gathering dust. It is robustly alive and continuing to inform debate both north and south of the border, and I predict it will continue to do so. The Cuby Committee persuaded the Scottish Executive to abolish tuition fees for students. It did so by moving students' contributions to the costs of their education from the beginning of their studies to a contribution made after graduating in the form of a graduate endowment. The Scottish Executive introduced too the Young Students' Bursary, aimed at supporting students from low-income families, again in the spirit of Cuby. The debate about student finance continues, of course. By taking a principled approach, the Cuby report has become an indelible frame of reference for that debate. Let me close by quoting a senior colleague who wrote to me a few days ago after we had talked about matters relating to student finance in general and to the Cuby report in particular. And my colleague wrote, "You may want to remind Andrew Cuby of his last visit here, which was while he was undertaking his inquiry. All of us, staff and students who met him, and the other committee members and had the opportunity to make comments, were impressed with the real concern of that committee under his leadership to ensure equity in student funding, their excellent grasp of the many complex issues, and the feeling of being heard by him and his fellow committee members." Today, I'm honoured and delighted to be presenting Dr. Cuby for the honorary award for the honorary doctorate of law of the university. Therefore, with the authority of the University Senate, I now invite you, Chancellor, to confer upon Andrew Cuby an honorary degree of Doctor of Laws.
With the authority of the Senate of Glasgow Caledonian University vested in me, I hereby create you a Doctor of Laws of the University. And with many congratulations. Great pleasure to have the chance to do this.
Chancellor, Principal, Chairman and members of Court and Senate, distinguished guests, members of staff of Glasgow Caledonian University, fellow graduates, ladies and gentlemen, and if I've missed anyone out in that long list, I do apologise. This is, as the Chancellor has said, an important day for all of us here. For some, it has been a day in the calendar long marked. For others, and perhaps for many of the spouses, partners, and other family and friends, a day sometimes anticipated only remotely, and that through tears of frustration and anguish of those of you who graduate today. Those who support the learning process also deserve recognition at ceremonies like this. That process is not an easy one. It can be a long and lonely road in which each and every one of us discovers our own highest hurdle. And I suspect all of you graduating today have metaphorically jumped higher than you could at some stage in the past have ever imagined. It's for that reason that whilst all of your supporters are proud, some may still be slightly astonished. They and you must thank this university both for your success and their astonishment. You have truly earned the initials about to be conferred after your name. You will, I know, carry them with pride, whatever else you later achieve in life. But I'm the interloper. I didn't join you in your classes in 1997 or 1998 or possibly even earlier in a long journey which brings you to the concert hall this afternoon. I'm an honorary graduate, which in polite terms means that I skipped the hard work of your classes and, dare I say it, trying to understand what your professors and lecturers were trying to say to you. I come here by a different ladder, but one in which Glasgow Caledonian University plays its part. Student body